All right, tonight we are going to jump ahead to lesson 20. I'm going to give you just some definitions from lesson 19, and then we're going to use all of these definitions to do some sorting on lesson 20. So, for tonight, you're going to need to know the definition of a kite. And the definition of a kite is a quadrilateral who has congruent sides which are adjacent to each other. And that means beside. Sorry, I'm going to switch pens here. Adjacent or beside each other. Okay, so that means that if I drew a shape, this isn't necessarily the best, but because these sides are beside each other, they are adjacent. And each pair is congruent to the other side. So here are adjacent sides and here are adjacent sides. And these two are congruent to these two. So the main difference when we are looking at our hierarchy is a kite is a quadrilateral. It's in there in the whole quadrilateral box, in the quadrilateral club. It can be a trapezoid because the sides can be parallel, but they don't have to be. It can be a parallelogram. It can be a rectangle. And it can be just kind of its own quadrilateral, which is what this shape here is. It is its own quadrilateral. All of these other quadrilaterals have opposite sides that are parallel to them. These have adjacent sides, which are parallel. So kites kind of have their own club, although they can be a part of the trapezoids and rectangles. If you look at how this is laid out, a rhombi, the rhombi and the square actually are always kites. They're in that kite square. They are always a kite. As long as the adjacent sides aren't parallel. So that's what this part is down here. So if the adjacent sides, or I'm sorry, if the lines are parallel, then you are looking at a square because the sides would all be the same length. They'd have 90-degree angles. That's why it's in the rectangle box. It would be a rhombi because those sides are also parallel to each other. And it gets to go in the kite because those adjacent sides would be the same length. Okay, go ahead and pause the screen and add that to your notebook. Okay, and finally, the last definition that we're going to add to our notebook is a square. And so we know what a square is, but we're going to get the official definition. It is a quadrilateral with 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles. Those angles are always going to be right angles. And that's going to look like that. Okay, So once you have all of these notes in your notebook, go to the next video where we will begin sorting these shapes.